Hey guys, welcome back to another review, and today we're going to take a look at the Alpha and Delta KS1. So this is a new brand here in the channel. This is a Singapore-based IEM company, and they are making also KS3. So they're I believe cheaper version, $30 only from their site as well. We're going to take a look at it. Will this match with our Blon 03 and top recommendations here in the channel? We're going to find out in this video. Of course, let's take a look at what you get in the box first. Of course, you get that kind of gold kind of branding, which is really cool. Actually, this well packaged kit altogether. Of course, you do get that kind of nice nylon of cotton kind of case. This is different from what you're usually used to, of kind of a stretchable material. Nice texture also. And of course, inside you do get a lot of tips. You do get also even some foam tips inside, which is cool. So a lot of package inside. In terms of the overall build, it's actually pretty cool. In terms of the lobes, it's actually made of like a resin, a kind of plastic. This is sort of similar to the TRN IM2 in terms of the overall build. Really nice quality plastic, but the advantage here is this has some fins, guys. So the fins that I always mention that is really cool, stable on the ear. So definitely yes, in terms of the overall shape, this is a very nice shape overall. I do like the shape that they chose. In terms of the preforming, it has also a preformed ear hook, and also it's black. In terms of the overall design, it's very nice to look at. It's not your kind of cheap color like what you get with your KZs that looks more upscale in terms of the preformed ear hooks. Cable wise, it's much like the TRN cable. It's nothing to write home about. It's pretty good for the price, but definitely not the best cable that I've seen. You do get an L plug at the top as well, and also pretty small as well. So for mobile usage, this will be really cool. So in terms of the fit on the ear, this does fit really well. This is one of the most stable fits that I've seen in this channel. So definitely that fits really nice on this. So definitely if you're gonna use this as a monitor on stage, this will be really nice. This does seal also. Isolation is really good on this. Comfort wise, it does go inside your ear that much, so it's not that much comfortable. It's a bit suffocating feeling on the ear, but of course because of that super duper seal, it will be kind of a trade-off. More sealing but a bit less comfort. Not a super duper major issue, but for some people who may not like that. Looks wise, really good for me in terms of the overall look. All black kind of design, which is something I like. It doesn't also protrude from your ear that much, so I would say really nice build overall. The package is really good, and also build is really good. I don't have a super duper major issue. It's just maybe the suffocating feeling on the ear, that super duper isolating feeling that might be an issue for you. It's like an earplug on the ear, but otherwise it's a well-designed kit. Right now, let's go to the sound. So actually the Alpha and Delta KS1, this is the first that I've listened to from their company, and this is definitely a different sound in that $30 price range. This is much like the Guide Ray, but make it a bit more V of a signature. So this has a tight bass, a bit forward in the mix, warmish in presentation, has some shimmer on top, and also a bit peaky on top. Alright, so from the measurements, it's definitely a V-shaped kind of sound. So it has a bass elevation until around 500 to 1K, and after that it rises up to 4K to 5K, has the first peak from there, and goes down around 8K to 10K. You have that kind of 10K peak as well at the top, so you have double peaks. So this makes it a bit more, of course, bassy, so a bit shimmery at the top, that super duper peaky top. So this has definitely some shimmer. So vocals are fairly revealing, but can be also a touch veiled here because of that kind of mid recession. So while this has some bass elevation, I would say in the grand scheme of things, this kind of a fairly balanced sound still. So vocals are fairly revealing, but still a touch veiled for me. It's more in the relaxed side in terms of the overall sound. A fairly good timbre and tight sound overall across the range. So relaxed sounding, a warmish in presentation. But not too much, not too warmish. This has still some cleanliness to the sound. Pretty tight sound overall, I'd say. It's a non-fatiguing listen. So much like the Guide Ray in the grand scheme of things. The bass goes deep, tight, and also prominent in the mix. Prominent but doesn't eat up the rest of the spectrum, so this is not your boomy kind of bass. This is more of a tight, slight punchy presentation. So for drummers, you will appreciate this as a monitor because this will resolve even double peds. Also the bass goes deep as well, so this has some sub bass, but definitely I would say this is not for bass heads because this is not your boomy kind of bass. Mids are lush and smooth. Vocals are clear enough, again a touch veiled than what I would like. And also a bit forward in the mix, especially in the female vocals. Male vocals are a bit more recessed than what I would like, but female vocals are okay. Vocals are not too shouty also, so this makes it a relaxing listen overall. So on stage actually, so this won't burn your ears even if you play for maybe 1 hour, even if the vocalist shouts. this won't burn your ear. This has a bit of air also in the mids, but this is not your airy kind of sound. Again, this is more in the relaxed side of things. But the mids here, yes, are still rich and fairly lush in presentation as well. Highs, well, it's not super duper bright, has enough extension on top. But this is not your super duper extended highs. This has some air as well, but not a super duper airy kind of sound. Again, less fatiguing to listen to on stage. But I would say the highs are kind of the weakness for me on this. This can be thin and also peaky on top. So actually too peaky and maybe a deal breaker for some. So like in the cymbals of Bon Jovi, It's My Life, the sound is a bit thin there. The cymbals are a bit thin for what I would like, and it sounds kind of unnatural. So yeah, the highs are a bit the weakness here in the KS1. Detail wise, it's a fair detail for the price. This is not your super duper detailed listen. So this is not something that you want to use for some mixing or maybe some mastering work. This has a touch of micro detail, but not a lot. So definitely the Blon has more micro detail, or your BA counterparts has more micro detail compared to these. The stage is fairly big, smaller than the S2, but still fairly good. It's not your super duper expensive kind of listen. Has some height more than the depth. Imaging is pretty good also. Easy to pinpoint the instruments, so this is something that you need, especially on stage. Separation also is pretty good with that kind of tight sound. And also a fairly big stage, the separation is pretty good. Very easy to pinpoint the instruments. Right, so first the guide rate from the IEMs we are going to compare. This is the closest for me. So the guide rate is also in the relaxed side of things, not too airy. Bass on the guide rate is also a bit more boomy. Mids are similar but more forward in the mix. The highs are better on the guide ray and has more body in the highs as well. So again, the KS1 has that weakness in the highs. KS3 is more shimmery on top, more kind of peaky on top, more recessed mids. The bass is tighter on these. Presentation of the air is similar, so not super duper airy on both. They are both in the relaxed side of things. So if you kind of like the guide ray and like a more kind of V-shaped sound, you might like this one. Versus the Blon has more extended highs, a more airy sound on top, a more lively sound in the Blon. The bass is also more boomy and also more micro detail on the Blon. So definitely for fun, casual listen, you might like the Blon more. Compared to the KS1, the KS1 in comparison is more relaxed, less airy and also tighter bass. So Blon is definitely very hard to beat in that kind of price range. If you prefer a more relaxed sound, you might like the KS1 more, but for me, I do like the Blon more. It's more revealing, more fun kind of signature, especially for casual listening. Verdict. So the build here is really good. I would say one of the best build in that kind of price range. The resin plastic that they use is really good. Fit on the ear is really good with that fins. Black in color in terms of the overall cable, really like it. And also the package with that case, really good also. Sound wise, yes, this is a different sound in the $30 price range. Tight bass, rich enough mids, has some shimmer on top. This might be just the pick for you. For some casual listening, this is just alright. Didn't blow me away. But for a monitor, some people may like this, especially for the treble sensitive crowd. For me personally, for my personal listen, this won't go in my top 5. For some people, a more relaxed sound, you might like this. That is my review of the Alpha and Delta KS1. Have you listened to an Alpha and Delta before? Let me know down in the comments below what you think of them. And of course, we review budget-fi to mid-fi audio gear. So if you're into that, consider subscribe. And I also unboxed this thing in my unboxing channel, new unboxing channel, links up here if you want to check that out. My first impressions, my raw first impressions on the KS1. Check that out in that channel, and of course subscribe for more content like this, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye.